to digest the divine pill. Chu Feng, where are you? Why haven't you been answering me? Chu Feng's head turned and immediately thought of a way. Turning around, he opened the chat window with Tang Shishir. Just after opening the chat window, Chu Feng could not help but be startled. On it densely appeared almost hundreds of messages. Chu Feng, well, I did do this. Do you have a way to help me fish it out now? Chu Feng knew what Tang Shishir wanted to say, so he directly returned. After all, it's eaten all by itself. And both are still under the same roof beam. If we go back, the other side will definitely know. Moreover, the relationship between the two. Chu Feng did not have the need to hide it from the other party. Tang Shishir, not now. There's too much of a siege on the people in the three clans out there. Tang Shishir, but you'll have it if you linger in there for a few days, and then I'll make arrangements and let you out. Chu Feng, thanks a lot. Tang Shishir, no need. If you want to be thanked, just hurry up and get stronger. The two of them just chatted for most of the day, with one sentence, without another. And then, it was only at Chu Feng's request that Tang Shishir reluctantly disconnected the connection. Since we can't leave here for the next few days, let's stay here now for now. However, before we get here, we have to go and pocket all the spirit medicines up there first. With a faint smile, Chu Feng did not continue to stay here. Turning around, he ran towards the top of the Divine Pill mountain range. On the other side, at this moment, Tang Shishir was frowning, as if something was bothering him. Demon Emperor, what kind of thing would make you care so much? The patriarch of the Acacia sect, who was on the side, happened to be by her side at that moment. It was found that Tang Shishir rarely frowned. Surprisingly, now the primaries are annoying. So, it came up and asked. She was extremely curious. You know, she and Tang Shishir have known each other for so long, but it was still extremely rare to see the other side frowning. You said you want to get a person out of the 10,000 Medicine Valley, but not to be known by those old guys. Is there any good way? Tang Shishir looked at her good sister who was by her side and suddenly spread a smile. This, Lady Yuxian couldn't help but be stuffed up at her words, because this is an extremely difficult question. There are simply too many people following the situation over there. On each entrance, there were at least several true Immortal Realm powerhouses squatting there. Trying to steal someone from the other side is no laughing matter. Never mind. Let me think. Looking at her good sister who was also stumped, Tang Shishir waved her hand and told her to stop thinking about it. In fact, she already had a good idea inside her. But it's all about taking risks. She didn't want to do it if she didn't have to. It was really because there were too many true Immortal Realm powerhouses gathered there. And every single one of them was extremely powerful. Even if she invoked these old undead, it was extremely difficult. Demon Emperor, you don't want to rush straight in and rescue him, do you? A look of curiosity spread across Yuxianer's face. What kind of magic does this man have that makes? Actually, you don't have to do that. Let me figure it out. I'll come back for you in a few days. Yuxianer immediately packed her bags to the Empress. Tang Shishir looked at Yuxianer's departing figure, and for a moment, she didn't know what to say. Forget it, do a double take. Tang Shishir sighed and finally made a decision in her mind. This place is surprisingly even tighter. Just how many people did the people outside let in? Chu Feng, who was looking for the time to go up the mountain, came to the location of the heavenly ladder and immediately realized that something was not right. There were a surprisingly large number of people here, standing directly there in 10-meter posts, staring at their surroundings with deadly accuracy. Directly, Chu Feng was allowed to clear his plan of picking all the spirit medicines. After all, if he went up to look for it according to this situation, he would immediately be discovered. When the time came to reveal his form, he couldn't even escape. And the people outside, they would know that someone inside was really getting the divine pill. When that happens, suspicion turns right into certainty. That's a lot more than just this manpower out there. True Immortal Realm above the great powers may also say down. Come to this side it. Under compulsion, Chu Feng sought a direction and headed upwards. Just because you can't pick it here doesn't mean you can't pick it up there. There are very few strong and heavenly prides here, but the pressure from above is extreme. These people wouldn't be able to keep all the places under surveillance. Under Chu Feng's rapid march, in a short while, he once again arrived at 100 meters in front of the mountaintop. It was as he expected up there, and as it came up more and more, the place became less and less crowded. When the time came to go up to the top of the mountain, there were only 2 people left stationed here, and, full of hard feelings, it was not possible to include the environment 100 meters in front of you in the observation. This could give Chu Feng a chance to find an opportunity. He was totally just able to pick a few of the spiritual herbs here, but people here are completely just unaware of it. What's with the thing that appeared here? After arriving at the top of the mountain, Chu Feng sought the opportunity to pick a few 7th, 8th, and 9th level spirit medicines. Steeply, He saw the place where the 9-turned soul refining grass he had picked was located. Surprisingly, it appears different. Surprisingly, a fist-sized stone block appeared on top. And the stone, dark and dark, had mysterious patterns shining on it. Chu Feng fixed his eyes on the lines on it, although they had changed greatly. However, there was still a hint of it that was extremely similar to the lines in the stone block in Chen Jiannan's office that Chu Feng had seen. Moreover, as Chu Feng saw the stone, the brocade pouch that Chen Jiannan had given him had unexpectedly erupted with an extremely powerful spiritual energy at that moment. It made Chu Feng know immediately. Perhaps, this was what Chen Jiannan wanted him to know. The others, on the contrary, are just incidental. In addition, the most important thing was that seeing this stone block, Chu Feng's heart actually longed for it, to get this thing in his hands. And, physically, there was an endless attraction. Let Chu Feng go over and get his hands on this stone. His body, as if it knew it, would bring him great benefits, urging him to get this in his hands. What is this? Such a bizarre situation instantly made Chu Feng come to see the interest and quickly went up and pocketed that stone in one hand. Suck! This rock will still bite. However, when Chu Feng held the stone in his hand, the sharp corner of the stone directly cut Chu Feng's hand, and then, the stone block seemed as if it could suck blood, directly sucking his blood. However, fortunately, it was only a matter of a split second, causing Chu Feng to not fling the thing out. At the same time, the stone sent over a stream of information. This is a big profit. After reading this stream of information, Chu Feng's expression was incomparably excited. Even his heart couldn't help but almost jump. That was because Chu Feng had learned an extremely important point out of the flow of information. That is, this magical stone block was actually the core of the 10,000 Medicine Valley. Whoever refines it, then it's the same as being in control of the space. All of it belongs to him. Moreover, most importantly, from this stone, Chu Feng also discovered extremely important information. That was that this thing really was connected to the stone block in Chen Jiannan's hand. And, still, a fragment of it. But that was all the shard knew. There isn't much other information, just saying it's connected to the core. However, these were enough to make Chu Feng happy and excited. You know, in reality, he didn't even have a house before. But now, he has an exclusive space straight away. This straight away puts him on top alright. And, with this thing in place, he wouldn't have to bother Tang Shishir. Needed her help to get out. Refine. At that moment, Chu Feng began to refine this mysterious core. Just refine this core. Then the whole space is his. The elixir down there, and the people here, as long as he didn't want them here, then they can be expelled directly. Chu Feng's heart was incomparably excited when he thought of this situation. At this moment, all the people in the outside world, looking at the top of the Dao rankings were dumbfounded, because the information on it stunned them beyond measure. Realm ranking number 1, Chu Feng. Realm, Spirit Realm. 4th level. Realm ranking number 2, Zhou Wu. Realm, 9th level of the Mortal Realm. Realm ranking number 3, Chen Xiaofeng. Realm, 9th level of the Mortal Realm. Where did this dude come from? His strength even directly soared so much at once. This still lets people live. You know, although this brother from before was also dominating the list, but the strength wasn't much different. And now that it has directly soared by a large realm, it still doesn't let people live. For a time, those who saw Chu Feng's strength soar above began to wail inwardly. After all, the current ones had been cultivating for such a long time, but it hasn't escalated that fast. Before they were able to catch up with each other, then now let alone catching up. It's nice to be able to see the end. End of chapter. Chapter 99 Control. Chapter 99 Control. Garbage game. I want to quit. Garbage game. Refund. Let's go. Brothers, let's charge on the official website. This is definitely shady. What's more, there are plenty of people who can't stand the situation. There was a flurry of people who had to run over and punch the official website. Unfortunately, what these people don't realize is that the game isn't run by people anymore. Even the Immortal Demon Corporation had no way to manage the situation over here. After all, this is something that can no longer be left in your hands. Anyone who touches that stuff immediately goes crazy. Even the founder, Chen Jiannan, has disappeared without a trace. Ha! It worked! On the other side, after 3 hours of refining, at that moment, Chu Feng had also accomplished the feat of controlling the 10,000 Medicine Valley. Next step. Get all these people out of here. That way, no one outside knows what's going on over here. At that moment, Chu Feng immediately began to act. Utilizing the spatial origin, he instantly transported all of these people out at once. At the same time, in order to mix up the sight of the true Immortal Realm powerhouses outside, Chu Feng also kindly separated these people, transferred to an unknown distance around the perimeter. Well, it's about time I got out. After getting everyone inside out, Chu Feng himself followed closely behind. Move yourself directly into a small town. The other tens of thousands of people were scattered. Ha! Wasn't I competing for a third-grade spirit medicine? Why did you send me out all of a sudden? My elixir. Is this the outside world now? What's going on with this? As soon as Chu Feng came out, he discovered the people he had transferred out. A dumbfounded look at the situation. Some are excited they survived. Some were pounding their chests, because they just happened to come across something good. But suddenly it's been shifted out, and the good stuff is gone for straight hours. For a while, the whole town was noisy. Just hurry up and find a place to go back for a bit and hide from the search over here. Looking at the people around him, Chu Feng did not have a bit of an excited look, because he didn't believe that he could hide these little tricks of his from the bigwigs above. After all, the other party didn't know how extensive their divine thoughts were. If the other party pulled down their faces to look for them, this medicinal aura on their own body would definitely be caught by someone else. At that moment, Chu Feng searched for a hidden, safe location to go offline. Phew, fortunately, I came across such a good thing, otherwise it could have been caught by someone else's tail and taken to make medicine. Chu Feng, who had returned to reality, said extremely thankfully, I wonder what that arrogant ninny is doing now. Would think of Tang Shishir who was working hard for herself over there? Chu Feng could not help but reveal a touch of tenderness in his eyes. Well, there should have been a message to the other side when we got back. Otherwise, and do not know that the other side found himself missing. Then do not make a mess. When he thought of the first time his opponent heard bad news from his side, what happened then? The corners of Chu Feng's mouth could not help but curl up. Never mind. I'll remember that next time. But for now, let's get some rest. Chu Feng murmured in a low voice. At this point, his head felt a little empty. It's been active for 10 days straight, and it's been using brain power. Chu Feng felt that his entire being was a bit bad up right now. Directly after casually wiping his face, he laid down on the bed and slept right then and there, with Chu Feng sleeping over. Unbeknownst to him, wisps of dark, shimmering, divine light appeared, slowly transforming his body, enhancing his strength. Chu Feng, who was in his sleep, only felt as if he was now sleeping in an incomparably comfortable world. The mouth even rolled over in comfort. On the other hand, in the world of immortals and demons, Sister Tang, the way has been found. Let's go over and do it now. Yu Xian'er brought with her a fragrant breeze and ran directly to Tang Shishir Dao. Okay, I'll contact him. After getting the good news, Tang Shishir immediately sent a message to Chu Feng, but under Tang Shishir's left and right weights, Chu Feng did not even return the message. Unable to wait for a reply, Tang Shishir could only go over there first. Never mind, he should have gotten into something. Now go over there and talk about it. Yu Xian'er, what's the best way? Can you say something now? In the sky, Tang Shishir, who was worried that Chu Feng had not returned the message, could only look for a topic to divert her attention. Hey, it's easy as pie. We just need to get over there, and after that, just let him come out, while pretending to be tackled by us. At that time, when we catch it back, who would dare to come over to our demon clan to seek trouble from us? Yu Xian'er hemmed and hawed, directly spilling the beans on the bad idea. That's a good way to go. It's the demons on our side that are suffering. Tang Shishir brightened up and agreed right away. But while there was a hint of compassion in her words, but from Tang Shishir's cold expression, and the general look of making mischief, then you know that this one is just made up. After all, as a demon emperor who came out from the bottom, Tang Shishir didn't have 1,000,000 lives on her hands. She had at least 100,000. One way to go. One way to kill. This is her path. Yu Xian'er really lived up to her reputation as a good best friend. It's amazing that I was able to come up with such a good one. It's straightforward for the demons to fight this pressure. It also enabled her to take advantage of the opportunity to pull some of them out as cannon fodder. Hey, when the time comes, the good sister just needs to introduce that person to me to know about it. When Yu Xian'er sniffed, a playful smile couldn't help but appear on her face. What's the matter? Is Yu Xian'er springing for one too? Looking at Yu Xian'er, Tang Shishir joked. Humph, who would want such a stinky man? I merely wanted to see where the man who ran out of the house had caused our incomparably powerful and beautiful demon emperor to fall. However, Yu Xian'er wasn't easy to bully. A cold grunt and a haughty look. Never mind. I'll tell you sometime. Tang Shishir also knew that this was Yu Xian'er caring about herself and didn't lose her temper. There was a sweet smile on her face. Come on. You're disappointing me too much by not showing that smile. Looking at the sweet smile that appeared on Tang Shishir's face, a trace of sourness suddenly surged in Yu Xian'er's heart. At that moment, he shouted. At the same time, he quickly ran up, rushed onto Tang Shishir, and began to jostle. In the midst of their cheeky jokes, the two of them soon arrived in Mrs. Ying's mansion. This was one of the 4 main entrances to the 10,000 Medicine Valley, located in the area occupied by the devils. It's the entrance that belongs solely to the demons. Shouting Chu Feng out here, the people from the demon race here wouldn't dare to fight Tang Shishir.